Community Conversation, we're joined by Kelli Hughes, a physician's assistant at Sentara Jefferson Hospital. She's sitting down with Aaron.
Kelli, good to have you here today. Thanks for coming in.
Hey Aaron, thanks for having me.
You are very welcome. So today we're talking about stroke prevention. This is Stroke Prevention and Awareness Month, correct?
Correct, yes ma'am.
Okay, that is good to know. So what is it that people maybe don't know about stroke prevention?
Well, they might not know that some of the chronic diseases they have increase their risk for heart attack and stroke. So education really is a key point, because a lot of people might have something like high blood pressure or diabetes and not realize that that's increasing their risk for a stroke.
Well, that is good to know. Absolutely. And then we know, like you said, things like high blood pressure and diabetes can raise your risk for stroke. What are some of the ways that people can manage those conditions day to day?
Well, day to day, they can, two things. They can control diet, right? So we know that there's certain things you can do with your diet to help with blood pressure, like decrease your salt intake, for example. Be really aware of table salt, and added salt in foods that you're eating or buying. And with diabetes, we know that if you make good food choices, or you're a little bit less on the sugar, a little bit higher on the proteins and healthy fats, you can control your blood sugars, and controlling those things then controls your risk for stroke.
That's good to know. And are there simple changes people can make to their eating habits that really make a difference for both the heart and brain health?
I think so. I think one of the things is to plan a little bit more ahead and stop so much fast food and convenience food, because we get to the point that there's not a lot of food in our food, and
right.
It's just not a high nutritive value, and then we start kind of ticking away at the healthy things that we can put into our body by putting unhealthy things in our body.
Right, that is true.
And it saves money. It's easier on the pocketbook.
Yes, we like that too. And how does weight play into stroke risk, and what are some realistic steps that people can take if they're trying to lose weight or stay active?
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that weight is related to stroke risk, and for women not so much, but for men to a greater extent, and some studies have showed as much as 1 in 5 cases of stroke are weight related, and that was an increased risk factor for people. And so really being aware of what a healthy weight is, talking to your doctor about it. We have a lot of really beneficial treatments that actually have now primary prevention for heart attack and stroke, some of the weight loss treatments that are out there. So I think being really proactive and understanding what a healthy weight is for your body and how that would impact your risk is a great thing to do.
Yeah. And for someone who wants to make healthier choices, but maybe they feel overwhelmed, maybe they don't know where to start, where is like a good place for them to kick off that journey?
Yes, it's such a good question, because it's so confusing and there's so much information out there. One thing I always tell people is your insurance, if you have diabetes or you have high blood pressure, may cover a visit to go see a nutritionist. We have a great nutritionist, outpatient nutritionist at Jefferson. There are great nutritionists in the community, but just to sit down and kind of go through what you eat, one step, like 1 hour, to really kind of have a professional evaluate what you're eating, and low-hanging fruit, what small things you could do to change that.
That's wonderful. So it's good to know that there are steps, even small steps we can take each day to reduce our risk.
Absolutely. Whether you park further away in the parking lot and you walk more to control for that high blood pressure and bring your blood sugar down. Maybe you pack your lunch 1 more day a week than you already are. It doesn't have to be this big change that is not going to be a good fit with your lifestyle. Right. I think sustainability is key, in making small changes along the way is going to help.
That is great. Lots of great insight there, Kelli. We appreciate you coming in. Last question, if people want to get in touch with Sentara Jefferson, how could they do that?
Well, they can ask their healthcare provider, PCP, for a referral, and we have a great website where you can actually just find providers that are accepting new patients.
Oh, perfect. Nice and easy.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much, Kelli, and we'll see you next time.
You bet. Good to be here.
Thank you so much. Steve, over to you.